Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one is going to be on Randy Orton, the Undead Predator. So Orton is this weekend's Feud card, and poster, don't find me, Furpo. And he is a acrobat. He is a chaotic acrobat, modern era zombie. We finally have Orton as a zombie, which I think is pretty cool. I'm a big Orton fan. Let's take a look to what he all has going on. He's got the zombie and modern era links, the standard undead predator gear. He's another one of these amazing coaches. This one at 6-star, 26k, you're going to be able to make 3 extra purples for anything that creates purples, as well as the kickout, 2 at 17k and 1 at 19k. Incredible coaches. These are top-notch coaches. Looks like we're probably going to get one for each color this month with the zombies, seems to be my guess. Don't know. That's not inside info. That's just the way it looks. And Orton is extremely powerful. Very good. It'll be interesting to see where he fits in with all the other acrobats. Acrobat, like, literally is probably the most loaded class at the top. Sorry, Showboats, which is my favorite. Acrobat, I think, is the most loaded class by far. Any other class, one of the top acrobats would extremely stick out. At acrobat, like, it's like, which one's better, hard to decide. But I'll try to do that at the end of the video. 3 build sets for you guys. First one is going to be the worst. Last one is going to be the best, but also require the most bells and whistles. To get the most out of Orton, you're definitely going to want a Z-plate. This will be on for the duration. 4 more countdown gems, increase your gem damage by 50%, reduce your opponent's gem damage by 35% for 2 turns. Blue move damage percentage, 133%. Standard, max tier 4. So we're looking at 75% gem damage across the board. It's showing 125 because of the Z-plate, and then 133% move damage across the board for the blues. So first moveset, least favorite, Stun Juggernaut and the ZKO. 10 MP finisher, deal 108k damage, destroy 32 random multiply gems. Rotting Viperplex, 7 MP red, stun, deal 72k damage, and skip turn for 1 turn for your opponent. And the Bite, 4 MP Jug, deal 100k damage, choose 2 gems to make into 2 turn Juggernaut gems. Turn 1 is going to increase their blue MP by 5. And then turn 2 is going to make a random 4x4 area into multiply gems of strength 3. Entourage, we are going to run with Butch for 6 red MP. Stun won't be ready turn 1 in Feud this way. Matt Hardy for 2 multiply gems. Santa Hogan at 2.2k extra gem damage. I'm not going to play him like we have the 1 extra MP in Feud. If you do, you could start with the stun turn 1, but as you'll see, you need 2 turns anyway. And then we have Edge on here to decrease your starting MP for 1. You can use whatever MP down coach you want. The idea here is that they don't get to go off on turn 1. Turn 2, you stun them and finish up with the finisher and hopefully finish them off. So that's the idea. All right, let's get out here. I do want to call out as I'm going into this match, I am not going to skip the entrance animation because Orton has one of the coolest in a minute. I usually don't mention these, but this is super duper cool. I hate snakes, and I still think it's cool. Check this sucker out. Snake wrapping around him, doing its thing. Tail coming out of his eyeball. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So little touch, but props to Scopely on that. I think that's pretty dang awesome. So nothing at all wrong with the way Orton looks. Turn 1, you're going to put your jugs out and then take your swipe. If you had red, I would take red. If you don't, it doesn't really matter. I am inclined to try and leave the blues on the board for the multiply. So, and Ivar needs black, so I'm going to go ahead and take the black gems. Like I said, in Feud, the stun wouldn't have been loaded unless you have 17k Santa, but we're not playing that way. Turn 1 loads the finisher. Then we can stun them, take our swipe, and we should be able to hit the finisher for turn 2. And it should do pretty good damage. Let's find out. Do keep in mind this is the worst moveset. So there's the stun. Our turn goes. There come the multiply gems. You can see they do 4x4, but they can overlap. So theoretically, you could overlap them in the exact same spot. On this build, cheap shot, or the, you can see I have the swipe plate, Kids Lightning. If you break yet 3 yellow, it changes purple to blue, just trying to get more blue nonsense going on. You could also use the Pyro Princess plate. In this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blue gems. So those would get a 50% boost. I think, nope, that I don't believe will work on Juggernaut gems, so strike that. I wouldn't use that. Anyway, RKO time. And you can see we hit for 2 million. That was a pretty good spread. That was 8 blues up there. That was pretty good. So that's my least favorite moveset of the 3. All right, next moveset. They should each get progressively better. Although with the current perks +2 on a match, if you get lucky, well, maybe not necessarily lucky, but if the board cooperates and you don't cascade, this one can hit ridiculously hard. Even if it doesn't, it still hits hard. We're going to keep the ZKO in. We are going to move the Shambling Decapitator in. And then we are going to bring in the Decapitating Spine Crusher. All right. So 6 MP blue, deal 70k damage, choose 3 gems to make into 1 turn countdown gems. That will make 9 random gems into multiply gems of strength 4. That's 27 total. And Shambling Decapitator, deal 69k damage and choose 4 gems to make into blue. Also keep in mind we need 4 countdown gems to make the Z plate go off. And so Entourage, we're going to go with Woods for purple MP to start. Now, if Matchy Match goes away, instead of Santa Hogan for the 2.2k flat gem damage across the board, you could run Andre to make your loading of the finisher easier. Oh yeah, we're leaving him in. And then you definitely want Cena. With special perks in play in Feud, you wouldn't need it. Don't know that those are going to be there long term, so you won't need Cena to get the Z plate to work this month. You might the month after. If you don't need Cena, obviously anything buffing multiplies or blues would be the way to go. Preferably a dual trainer like Snoop that does blue and red would be good, or Mherex that adds +1 to your multis. So, right. Let's rock and roll. But for the preview, I need Cena to get the Z plate to fire anyway, so kind of works out. So what you want is a 5 match. Then you want to be able to swipe a 3 if you have +2 on a match. So yeah. That's our 5 if we go there, and then we won't have a, well, we might have a swipe. The problem is we may end up cascading with a black here. I'm going to do that. Nah, I'm not. Let's do it this way. This. Second thoughts are often best. Now your countdown gems can go out, which will trigger the Z plate. And we do have room to work with. We'll see how this goes on the swipe. Of course, the wild card screwed me up. I didn't really want to leave it at the top. But if you don't, then you hit the countdown again. Z plate goes off twice. Then you hit your finisher. Of course, Ivar gets a wild card. If he pins me, that kind of messes up the total damage a little bit. So we're only going to end up having 1 stack of the Z plate instead of 2. And potentially going to lose a multiply gem. Nope. Okay. And I only have 3 builds, so I'm going to go ahead and run this one again. But you can see all the Destructoid here that's going to happen. And you can see that's 4 million damage. That did get both stacks of the Z-plate, by the way. So, I mean, that's really good. You don't need anything extremely rare to pull that off. I don't have like Fury 2s on or anything like that. The rarest thing is going to be the Z-plate. I have 2 of those, so it's not exactly easy to come by. For sure, not everyone is going to have it. So you might be running the Juggernaut gem set if you get him, but you don't have a Z-plate. You could still run these, you're just going to do 50% less damage. I still think this would probably be more damage even without the Z-plate, to be honest. So there's that. Let me run this again. Seems better this time. Not going to worry about a blue swipe and loading it twice. Take what the board gives us. I prefer vertical match. I would love to take this red, but then if a yellow drops in, you know how it goes. So I'll take this purple here. Still can't win for trying. And I still cascade. So while Orton is incredibly good, it does rely on not cascading. So we'll keep that in mind when we look at him at the overall picture. Okay, so this is only with 1 stack, so I mean I could choose and maybe get the blue out again, but this is with 1 stack of the Z-plate. You can see he's still hitting for 3.2 million. So I'd say without the Z-plate, you're probably still going to hit for like 2.8-ish, even without a Z-plate, so still super good, right? Now this last moveset was going to require a 17k Santa Hogan. And it's a whole lot of nonsense. And by nonsense, I mean good things. Actually, I'm ending up... Yeah, this will end up using all of the moves then. That's in the wrong spot compared to the picture, so we'll just fix that. You need 17k Santa Hogan to get the Unearth Power Slam right away. Which we haven't seen. 7 MP purple, deal 82k damage, make 18 random gems into 1 turn countdown gems. That will make 2 random gems into blue. So that's going to do 36, just like that. And then, of course, we know what's going to happen with the Decapitating Spine Crusher. That's the 6 MP, choose 3 gems, 1 turn countdown, the 9 randos into multiply. So we're getting 36, and then choose 4 gems to make into purple. That's the choose move so that we can get a turn off on turn 1, essentially by making a wildcard match. Only difference here is we're going to put Lawler in instead of Matt. The way the countdown gem works is that the multiply gems go on the stack before it gets turned green. So multiplies go first, and then turn blue. And then second that goes off is the blue gems. So you will always have all the multiply gems on the board first, and then it'll turn to his primary color of blue. You can imagine how hard that can hit. Plus you get 2 stacks of the Z-plate right out the gate with 17k Santa. So you're doing this number, random first. If you don't have 17k Santa, that's okay. You could still choose into it. I'll play it again, pretending I don't have a 17k Santa. And there. Z-plate fire twice. Okay. So we just want to swipe in to any kind of 5 match, preferably swipe in, and not destroy very many countdown gems. That's the idea. Can't remember where I put the really important ones that we only have 4 of. So Go here, and I can pop this one here, put the wild card there. All right, no promises. I can't see clearly, so whatever. I'm gonna play this one again. It's fine. And this is the only downside to Orton is I mean, not me mischoosing there. That's not a downside. So there you can see blue goes boom boom. 5 million reduced to 4-3, right? I mean, like, it's just ridiculous. The only downside is if you get pinned, that goes off when you're pinned. So you do want to achieve it on turn 1. You don't want to cascade. Really, I probably got cute there because you can actually get 3 stacks of the Z plate with a 17k Santa. I'll run this one a couple more times. And that just wasn't a good spot in the middle of the board, really. In Feud, the extra 1 gem generate for 5 is actually huge because then you can just put them down a column on the left or right side. And that makes it way easier, way safer, way more simpler, but you still are going to cascade. Again, not the end of the world because he hits so dang hard. So I'm looking at this side over here. This side looks really nice. This side looks nice too. I'm gonna go left. And then I'm going to pay attention to where I put these this time, because these are the ones, the multiply ones that we only have 4 of. We really don't want to overwrite these. A lot of blue on the board. That's helpful. Okay. So this is 3 stacks of the Z plate, and you could just put a 5 match and swipe into it, which is safer, or you can do what I just did here, because I wanted to try and get the biggest boom possible, which that's going to be a really, really big boom. There you go. 6 million reduced to 5.4 million. Okay, now we'll play it pretending we don't have 17k Santa in Feud. Again, if matchy match perks go away, you won't be getting that second one out. Or the third one, as it were. Alright. So, same thing, but we're going to have no 17k Santa. I would still, just for ease of use, probably keep in woods in case, you know, something goes south when you're doing it, maybe. I don't know. Actually not necessary at all. So let's try and make up for losing that 1 stack. Let's just do blue gem damage. In fact, if you have Cena at 45% acro Cena chain gang, that would almost make up for not having a Z plate. Just FYI. Since we don't have 17k Santa anyway, that's probably how I would run this. You're going to do a 5 and then a 3 swipe to get the purple loaded. So 5 match and a 3 swipe. Let's just put these here, easy to remember. Do not like this as much, but it is what it is. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure. Why not? Looks great. No, let's do vertical. I like vertical so much more. I don't know why. It feels way safer. Whatever, game. Of course, we don't have the right countdown gems out. So, that's fine. Now it's just a big old mess. because we have 4s out there, so trying to get a wild card so we can swipe is going to be difficult. 2, 4, 5. That should work-ish. And sure, let's go here. And this is obviously with extra stacks now at this point. 2, 3, 4, 5. Son of a gun. He very likely is going to pin us, which is going to suck. So yeah, this is obviously what can go wrong. I mean, also there's a bajillion stacks of Z plate, so he can barely kick out. Oh yeah, he's for sure pinning. So this is the downside to Orton if you cascade on turn 1. There goes all your damage. I mean, the good side is it's easy to kick out. And we still have multiplies on the board. But this is gonna, now that Ivar is in his finisher mode, it's just gonna, we're gonna keep getting pinned all the time. So this is the downside. If you don't make it happen, this is what happens. Assuming you get stuck with a perfect recycler. Of course, it's going to be really hard to pin you. Okay, here we go. I'm obviously going to play this one again too. But this is the kind of stuff I like because it will happen to you in Feud. So it is good to know the weaknesses of these characters as well, as strong as they are. And this is one, maybe you're better off putting Eddie in instead of Hogan for the MP, because then we could just choose, like I said, or in Feud, you can choose 5 down a side, which is much less likely to cascade than this nonsense up here. Right? Because you see I've cascaded almost every time. I'm sure I won't this time too. I mean, I could have overwrote one there, I suppose. And you can see, again, it's not going to go off, right? When I want it to. And he's going to pin us again. Like so. And here, I don't even have a good spot to make a 5 match, so it's just whatever, right? Like, there's nothing I can do. This is it. I need a purple to make a 5 match. And we're back to this. I could hold that, I suppose, put it out next turn. But there we go. Okay. Now, let's just do it again. So when everything goes right, incredibly powerful, but not gonna happen every single time in Feud. Would be very strong in boss battle. for blue gems or multiply gems. Okay. Again, the purples are in super crappy spots because I'm doing a preview. Why wouldn't they be? Either anywhere I put of these two, it's just sucky. I should just put Eddie on and get 4. Or so I can do a 5 straight down the column, like here. But whatever. I can guarantee you the wild card is going to drop right here, even though it's a 1 in 5 chance, or 20%. No, but then I dropped a blue in, right? I'm just holding this time. Screw it. But that's completely the problem. You're 100% at the mercy of the board and cascading. And up, down, top to down is the best way. You will do it less, for sure. And now the problem is there's multiplies everywhere. So I think I've illustrated the problem if you cascade quite well and made him look worse than he is, because you're probably not cascading that much unless you're me. I'm going to use this to overwrite the multiplies, and I'm going to drop a 5 match right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I need to do a swipe somewhere. So let's put it there and see what happens here. Actually quite agitated at this point, but it is what it is. I am not going to show what happens when everything goes perfect all the time. I'm going to show what happens as it goes. You know what? Let's just do this. Why not? It'll cover up multiplies. That would be the reason why. But it does proc the Z plate. And let's please hope for no cascade, which we finally freaking get. Boom. You can see 6 million hit. So it still hits hard all the time. It'll hit hard even without a Z plate, to be honest. The question is, will you cascade or not? And then you'll have to play around it. If you have a Z plate, you're not going to really take much damage because you're going to be reducing it. If you don't cascade, it's going to be over quite quick. So, Acrobat, like I was saying, super overpowered. You are slightly cascade prone when you're going for a 5 match. Not as bad as this showed, but it is definitely there. Any of you that played Steph with their 5 vertical match knows that it can cascade. Maybe for the random person, maybe 1 in 10, 2 in 10, probably you're going to cascade. For me, it's much more like 3 or 4 in 10. If I'm doing a preview, it's like 9 in 10. So let's take a look at the Acrobat class in general and see where I would... So Dom is, in my opinion, there isn't a better character to take to 6-star than Dom. He doesn't care about perks, and good luck stopping him. That's assuming you have a Dom plate. Rhonda's better, even better. So Dom, hands down, head and shoulders. I would take Dom before I'd even take Acrobat Snoop. Don't care if that's a popular opinion or not. He's just basically unnerfable, at least at this point in the game. I think Motu Austin is much safer to hit hard than Orton here. I think Roman is much safer to hit hard. If there's sub perks, obviously Edge is better. If there's not sub perks, it's not even close. Orton's way better. Warrior is really interesting. So because of how much I hate cascading and how prone I am to, I actually would take Warrior first, not just because of Feud, but also because of Showdown, and the fact that he can Showdown. So if like my choice was between Orton or Warrior, I would take Warrior first for my roster. But that doesn't necessarily mean Warrior isn't going to hit for 6 million at the same time. So that's just my roster. So I think that's kind of where he falls into it. Snoop is definitely better. Dom is definitely better. I think Austin and Roman are all definitely better. Other than Dom, though, those are all incredibly rare. Depending on your roster, I could easily make a case that Warrior is going to be more useful for your roster. That being said, Orton is incredibly powerful and hits super strong. His coach ability is better than any of those I just mentioned. I think, you know, those three on a coach they're just phenomenal. So he's worth taking to 6-star on that basis alone, from the coaching perspective. So you want him, right? There's no way you don't want him because those coaches are amazing. But from a fighting perspective, I could make a case that I would Warrior might be better. So where he fits into your acrobats is really going to depend how many you have. And that being said, if he was, say, a trickster, you'd say, okay, only Umaga's better, second best trickster in the game easily, right? If he were a technician, you'd say, okay, after like 2 people, he's the third best, or Snoop with a ton of bells and whistles. You know what I mean? So it really he just happens to be in probably the most loaded class in the game. Long preview. I talked a lot. I'm sure you fast forwarded through it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, as that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching and good luck out there.